welcome to match week 24 in Serie A live. We're here at the Stadio Renato Dall'Ara for the Emilian derby between Bologna and Parma. I'm your match commentator, Thomas Holmes. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a very agreeable day for football here in the centre of Italy. The sun is starting to burst through the clouds. The Raiders stayed away, and these fans are up for a big match here. This is the one the Pope sets of fans really wants to win this season. It is Bologna taking on the Parma, the pride of this particular region, Emilia-Romagna. And there's a lot of stake this afternoon. Both of these two sides coming in. Well, the stats don't read pretty for Bologna. One win in their last 11 Serie A games, and for a side who came into this season with following their impressive run in the last couple of seasons under coach Vincenzo Italiano, the conference of the Italia holders remember, and it's been a disappointing campaign for them. They sit in 10th place, and they are 11 points off Como in 6th, and it's a long way back. Anything other than victory today against the Parma side, who are flirt with relegation this season, being huge underachievements. What about Paul Carlos Cuesta's side? Plodding along fairly nicely until a fortnight to go, and then not shipping goals at all, really. It was a very sturdy defence, a very organised defence that Carlos Cuesta had implemented in the Tardini, but 8 goals shipped in the last 2 games, a 4-0 defeat to Atalanta. That was then followed up by a very embarrassing 0-1 defeat in front of the right fans at the Tardini against Juventus. It is a Parma side who will be low on confidence coming here. Will Bologna be able to profit? That is the key question. There's so much attacking talent on show, particularly in red and blue colours today. The likes of Charleston Bro, Price Dallinger and Federico Bernardeschi called starting 11 by Vincenzo Italiano. Bologna, of course, considering where they are in the table, and the advantage coming as bookies favourites, but this is no regular match. This is a derby. This is a huge match in this particular area of Italy. The pride of central Italy is up for grabs today as Bologna and Parma faced off in the Emilia derby. Pressure is growing on the rosso-blue whilst Vincenzo Italiano. It's been a rotten spell. 1 win in their last 11 in Serie A. Carlos Cuesta's Crociati haven't fared much better though. They shipped 8 goals in the last 2 matches against Atalanta and Juve respectively. Which means it returns to form, and local bragging rights are on the line here at the Renato Dall'Ara. It is match day 24 of Serie. They lodged up to 12:30 local time. Lazio Parma fans have made the short trip down to Bologna for this one. The 2 managers coming for an embrace. Vincenzo Italiano. It's his 3rd season with Bologna. Carlos Cuesta, of course, this is his 1st job at the helm of a top-flight club. He became a veteran's assistant at Arsenal for a number of years. Let's bring you some team news. And they're stopping at home side. That's Bologna. Their coach, Vincenzo Dariano, has taken drastic action following Tuesday's 3-0 defeat here to Milan. He makes 7 changes. Skripski and Lukumi return to the starting 11. Pobega, Bednadeschi and Dallinger are all drafted back in. So first starts at right back for João Mario. Portuguese ex-Porto man is here on loan from Juventus until the end of the campaign. Signed for both of these sides to show character, show what they're all about here. There's so much on the line. One you need to keep in touch with those of us chasing Europe. Parma drifting slowly, wary towards the bottom 3. They can really do the weight gap. Match official for this contest, Giuseppe Colo. Video assistant referee helping that mess up. The City assistant John. Well, the multi has been made of whether Parma would adopt a back 3 or a back 4 for this clash. Squester has gone for a back 3 with Lichki and Sorens coming in for Nicolucci Camillion on Draker. New signing Gabriel Strefezza is on the bench. He could make his bow in Parma colours today. Once again, it is Polistadio who will play just off the big man, the top scorer at Deo Pellegrino. All eyes, on our eyes, I should say, on that man, Matteo Pellegrino, their top scorer this season, 6 goals. No other player named Parma colours has scored more than 2 this season. They are so reliant on the big Argentine for goals. It's been a backward run for him. He hasn't met it since the win against Lecce at the beginning of this calendar year. We're at the wave after Dallara, the pride of Emilia Romagna at that stage as Bologna face off against Parma. So key to see how Parma starts. It's very open. They allowed Juventus in with 2 birdie chances in their last game. They're going ahead early on. Could have been 2 or 3. Chico Conceição missing a couple of early chances. He hit the bar. But the Pozzi kept Parma in the contest in the first 10 minutes. 2 goals in that first half period really sunk Parma. It's difficult for them to find their way back into the game. They're going to have to start organised into their game as putting them up straight away to Bernardeschi and one of the players back in the starting 11. It's on centre of the park on the Stabinger. Coming in there from Troy Leatherby's, not expected to start as many games this season as he has. The Carlos Cuesta, very inexperienced right line for Roma to kill the 2 centre-backs. Canty and Troy Lode Pato. As we see, can't play on the right-hand side of the defence. He can also slot him as a third. It depends when Parma have the bit. The players they're going to be looking to get forward. We know Sasha Brichki loves to get forward the crowds of attacking areas. This fair share of defending to do this afternoon, though. Bodega, clash of heads early on. The referee will have to play here. Pellegrino has gone down. Yes. Painful on there for the Argentine. The balance surely from Tommaso Bodega. Went in with the shoulder leaning towards Pellegrino, trying to win the ball. It's been a tough run for that man. Cinto Daniel, head coach of the Bologna. Bologna say so. Believe that the European League wins against the likes of Celta Vigo. Big Salzburg, FB Tel Aviv paid though, but big large price. Today, Thomas Quest everything. We've seen it got okay. They accumulated 23 points to be the task of her season, but 2 damaging defeats. Juventus surrounds that 8 goals conceded, just the one stupid scored. So not by a Parma player, and they can be answered an own goal in last week's contest. And over 400 minutes since the Parma player scored in Serie. That was Matteo Pellegrino all the way beginning in January against Lecce. Big use for the Crociati. Nicolino back on his feet. Should be okay to continue here. Trips to Puto watching on there. Canadian businessman, chairman of Bologna. Igor Canis to Jonathan Roll. First touch for the Englishman. Big opportunity for him to stake a claim to start ahead of the athlete. Real toss-up between the two of them this season. Of Salini being preferred choice on the right-hand side of attack, but on the left-hand side. That link that goes down, that's another foul, this time in a very optimistic position. I think it's 1-2 fouls early on. It's getting the ball well, the Dutch run. Copy of the foul, headed to go, Toido, when he's down. Tarika. The Rossa Blues spoiled for choice on this particular area of the field. Likovjanis. Been the favourite to take this one, but Nadestki. Different set pieces. Lewis Ferguson loves a goal from the outside of the box, so it'll be very interesting to see which one take this one on. It's to be Likovjanis. That's a suited to the right footer. Likovjanis goes for the top. Disappointing that. It's a big chance to test it to Corby. But very interesting to see whether the Corby keeps his place in the Parma starting 11 when Zion Suzuki returns his spring-free Japanese goalkeeper. He started training this week. Their social media channel Spence. Photos of Suzuki training on the first team, so he should be back in the next couple of weeks or so. Lovely put some Sorensen skipping away from Guamanio. Every try to play the advantage and home advantage. It's obtained by Sorensen. Hopefully they'll make bear of Guamanio. Tough start tonight for the Portuguese. In the Italian Spalletti came to Juventus for big money at the beginning of the campaign. Then Chance Spalletti never really found his way. Waited, Lido back for us and right back, or the right wing back in about 5. Yeah, Balloons film this season has meant that Mario had very few first team opportunities. It's straight into the starting 11 today. Vanelli. So it's just Milutski, the one to attack it. That's well ordered by Tarika. Bologna would have done my homework. Parma's big wetland, of course, Matteo Pellegrino. So the deliveries of Emanuele Valeri. Keita steals it off Pobega. Keita goes down, has lost his footing. Actually hurt himself in the process here. It's not a head injury, so the referee is not obliged to stop play. But Parma wish that Bologna will put the ball out. Yeah, Keita still down. Throw it up. Sprints it out to Dylan Ferguson. This is Nico Giannis now. This would be controversial if one you would go up the other end and score. We've already seen it happen this season in the Roma Kovacic. And then Keita back on his feet. This is Foyda. Now João Mario. But he comes to Badeschi shooting away from Naneri. João Mario. To Vega. Oh no, he just do. Walk. Parma moving to Pumi. But not the Tilapia, and he's out inside the Riguri. Starts for the first time this afternoon. He stored his name in the headlines there. A pure strike at the wall. Riguri doesn't score many. Stand up. Yeah, they go. Some really good play. G. Shot there. Wonderful play from Stanio there. Spurs turning out of pressure a little bit in football, but the big man of Bill that being Wood up front and Knievel. So with those headers, they Stanio good. Like that pace. How you say that? Jonathan Rowe. So Tito with Blichji. Rowe does well. The pace have gotten to be one for Badeschi. It's a good match up there between Rowe and Blichji. €17 million Bologna spent on in-between services beginning of the season. Transfer from Hull City by said that it's Serie. A move back to Serie. Well, so we'll see. I keep it. The season does. Nico Jeffers. Fuller to the foul on Keita, but given by the referee. Corner beam. I think that's a Sorensen. It's not any. Squares ball from Valeri. This is Badeschi. Though it turned up. Very interested. Didn't to be a battle of Badeschi at the edge of the box. We know that a view of it than we did. So a decent start here from our own side. 10 minutes in. Still no goals, but when you're asking the questions, Ferguson. Forward up. Good ball to find out it go. Stanley needs help on his far side by Badeschi, the experienced Spencer Swinger coming back to help out. Something to look at it here. He did look like a foul from Giacatti. Freudel. This is Bridgeke. Too much in the way of support ahead of Bridgeke. Danica. Out to Bernardeschi, nice touch. This is Foyla. Space opening up from Raymond Foyla. To the little deflection. Staying out of the shot at easy before me. Nothing over from Bologna. Latching up to the misplaced ball from the goalkeeper Eduardo Porvi, and within 3 passes, inching into the Parma penalty area. We got the man that Bologna fans wanted the ball to fall to in truth. Raymond Foyla. Trying for his goal scoring ability. Industrious, very experienced centre midfielder. Goes up, moving his thing. Bentnaman, beautifully go. This is Keita. Onto Sorensen. Keita's done really well, Ben. Shoot the Bologna players around him. Pellegrino the target, but that's right the arm of Pellegrino. Some really expensive old game of football here at the Dallara. Toast Dalinga being released, and he will get there. Dalinga. Shitati. Enough. as a player and has grown leaps and bounds this season. Alessandro Richiafati, very much bridge player last season under Mountain's boss Christian Kivu. He's been trusted by Cuesta. One of the first names on the team sheet alongside Pellegrino, Del Prato, Del Nadir. Pellegrino too strong for Hegem, and he started side position. Danica looked for the ball early on in the first 13 minutes. Very different player to Santi Castro. The blame came in for Castro started the 3-0 defeat at Milan. Once they here against Milan. So, once to forget for Bologna fans. It's a absolutely performance. Only have majority of the ball, but Milan have the best chances. Here goes Jonathan Rowe. Floyd puts it towards Danica. It's away like Freudo. Zergesen by the cross. And roll once again. Slow at that ball to find Bobega. But it's something that Tommaso Bobega can give this Bologna attack when he's up from centre mid. Height, aerial prowess. It's already test tube captain Droido. Nikokianis. João Mario. Set to Serie well. And tonight, Bologna, João Mario, it will be very important, particularly with the games coming thick and fast for Bologna. Their commitments as well in the Coppa Italia. Jonathan Rowe released out from that. That's a lovely touch. It's a Danica. Such a poor ball from Rowe. He's in offside position, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. But it's nice that Gallagher needs better service than that. Teddy in an offside position, good. And line held by the Parma defence. Going back to Bologna's freaky run of fixtures. They'll face off against Lazio in the quarterfinals of the Coppa Italia here. That's on Wednesday. Then God's Serie commitments away at Torino next Sunday, and then it is a two-legged tie against Parma in the League playoff games. One after another. Recent one, João Mario was brought into the club. Just to give Zobé a bit of a break. Zobé's playing a lot of football over the last couple of months or so. Pellegrino making it difficult to look moving. Pellegrino with one shoulder to go for goal. But Sorensen. Number one as Parma's weapons being deployed here. Baheni's long throw. Stolupski comes to play. Stolupski, of course, back in the starting 11. He was suspended after that red card against Genoa in that absolutely crazy game of football. Bologna led 2 goals to nil, but 3 Genoa goals in the second half. 3-1 the 3 Genoa goals. And then the Filipone, famous win. Breach Jeans, vast is that. The Glumi's there to sweep up. Pobega, nicely done from Bologna to stay with the ball. Here goes Zico Giannis. Keita with the interception. Keita, he goes down. We've thought about it, and eventually does give the yellow card. It did seem to be minimal contact. Preventing perhaps half a goal scoring opportunity now, the edge of the area. Keita burst forward well. They're going to be disappointed. They were covering defenders. The brush of the shoulder there is enough to put the Belgian off balance. Use a yellow card, the first of the game. Goes to the man on mode, that'd be that. That passage of play is showing us exactly what Mandela Keita can do. He's walked to the club for big money. There's a number 8, really a box-to-box player. He came forward, I think, a couple of goals as well. We've seen him played in a conservative position just in front of the back four, and upside there, Nabe. The arrival now of Kavi on loan from Venezia. We should be able to see Keita in his best position, which is just in front of the midfield too. So Nicolucci Caviglia on one side, Bernabé on the other, and Keita just ahead. Such a dangerous player. Fights him for Parma that he stays fit between now and the rest of the season. Good move. We're not hearing as the VAR check in progress. It was a 5-foot from Pobega, just there, scraping the back of Keita's leg. Keita clearly not happy with the challenge. First view, it didn't look to be a red card offence, but slowed down there. Did catch him on his legs. He's getting nowhere near the ball. That's why there is a video assistant referee check in progress. Will be ushered to have another look at this at the pitch side monitor. Well, a big moment in the first 20 minutes here for Renato Dallara. Referee Polo has been instructed to have another look at this. The monitor pitch side. Tommaso Pobega rushes half there of Keita, as you can see. Always looked worse when it slowed down. On first revision, it looked to be a yellow card. This could certainly be turned into a red. The age-old discussion in the Italian game, freeze frame there, making the challenge look much worse. Keita certainly came off that painful injury there. He's watching his car. The freeze having multiple views of this. Is that serious foul play? Is it considered serious foul play? Debito di revisione, difensatore numero 4 del Bologna come non deve farlo di gioco. Decisione finale, tanto di punizione, well, the color of the cards has been changed from yellow to red, and it's Tommaso Pobega who's off for an early bar. On first review, it didn't look to be a red card offence. Slowed down on the monitor. He caught Keita on the back of the car. He studs were high, and he's been sent off there. He feels so likely sorry for Pobega. He seems to be too much malice in the challenge. Thank the Italian. Well, a lot of people have presented their views towards the technology that's been brought into the Italian game in recent seasons. Bologna might feel aggrieved here. That's the challenge there. Now, was he attempting to make contact with Keita? Was he trying to bring him down? According to the referee, called it was a red card offence, and he has been sent off, and that has completely changed the complexity of the game here. First thing Bologna need to do is keep this free kick out there. Decent strike from the Spaniard, Madrid. Oh, his expression in English, when it rains it pours, and it's certainly pouring over Vincenzo Italiano on Bologna at the moment. He started really well, created a couple of half chances and looked as though they done some pressure on Parma, get that early goal and close to a convincing win. But all of a sudden, the red card to Tommaso Pobega has changed the dynamic of this game, and it's Parma now who feel that it's there and should go on and win it. Hotly contested match here. After that ladder, these two sides have seen plenty of red cards this season as well. Normally it's Parma who on the white side of the decision have conceded, well, they've been up against 6 red cards now, sitting at already this season. 2 against Lazio, 2 against Lecce, 1 now here for Pobega. Bologna, their problems with discipline continue. Needs to be sent off, as we said, against Genoa. Cambiaghi was sent off at Como. Now Pobega here against Parma. It is a problem that I have to look at internally. Vaneri, nice takedown from Vaneri. Higham boots it clear. Vereni, Parma finding these pockets of space well. This is Sorensen. It's dropped by Skorupski. Kogianis puts it out for a corner. Bologna on the back thirds. This is the time for Parma to pounce. Been so poor at sense of goal over the last 4 games. Just 1 goal scored. It was scored by Juventus player Andrea Cambiaso. Feel the nerves here inside the Renato Danara. Can't pop a pocket from that. 25.5 minutes on the clock. Saleri with the corner. Disappointing one. There was a pit together in the middle between Tomici and Catti. It's Ferguson. Sorensen. Unsuspected. Bologna playing that 10 metres deeper. Will cause him from Vaneri. That's away only as far as Abe. Stopicki. Support. It goes back to Del Pato. Just to see Parma's credentials in front of goal. Play almost 70 minutes with a man extra. Vaneri. It's corner after corner now. Higham puts it behind. Vaneri will come over to take this one once again. Bologna need to weather this storm here. Can't find a foothold at the game. It's Boiler who's beside Ferguson in the centre of the park. Following that dismissal of Tommaso Pobega. It's almost pains that Say it's called shooting, or 4-1, I should say, with Paniga load up top. Panu. So just going back to the discipline issue for Bologna, that's 6 red cards now since the end of October. It's worth saying that that's 6 in all competitions, not just Serie A, but that's far too many. Dalica, isolated man up top to hold it up well. He's done really well, Dalica. On the way back to Kumi. Nico Camis and Ferguson. All the way out to Bernardeschi. Rare spell of possession. Parma dominating the ball in the last 10 minutes or so, but it's Bologna's turn here. Jumps and row. Zoida to Dalica. Throw. Peter finds Benjamin. Help my address, Benjamin. The Bologna fans being rather irritated by the incessant decisions to give Parma free kicks, and that one did look like a foul, Benjamin. Skip past his man, Nico Camis, and it's the Greek who brought him down. What is Daniel? And as we approach the half-hour mark, it is time to Hazard Bega's red card, the biggest moment of the match. It's so many clear-cut opportunities in this first half an hour at the Danare, the Armenian derby. And they're looking to change that now. Paul Bos to Arvario. Here's Valeri. Looking to double up now on Hegum. He's got Oristagno in support. Pellegrino in the centre, but it's an easy ball for Lumi to intercept. So disappointing from a Marciati point of view. Ferguson. Bellingham in offside position. Ferguson cycles it, now it's down to Hegum. Bernardeschi. Pointed towards Dalica. Ferguson. Bernardeschi now, Jonathan really calling for it early. Bernardeschi taking on Valeri. It's a lucky Paulin to fight Dalica. Header straight at Portaby. Do you feel now the chances will be few and far between for Bologna? To that red card, Bega. Well positioned there by Bernardeschi. He's always going to cut in on this favoured left foot to try to whip that ball towards the back post area. He did exactly that. Would be essential that Danaga's head up towards him. Now that space for Parma to attack down the left. Bameni didn't take the ball with him. Keita. Now at the centre of the red card decision. Bodichki. They should play from Questa's side. Bernadette. By pickup. Oh wait, Oristagno to back into him. Learning. Fantastic acquisition. Bjorn Hegem has been this season, 7.5 million euros. He cost Bologna from the Sport Albion. It's a third challenge in Toilo for the Daringa. The referee's making it abundantly clear, and that won't be the last one. It's a yellow card from Brandish. It did look to be a yellow card eventually. You can understand the frustration from the Bologna fans. Shooting in here, they've already seen men's side go down to 10 men. It's to be a clear yellow card offence. With the charge, play Daringa. Daringa Pulisic with his old side Toulouse, French second division. Yeah. Big money moves for 15 million euros here to Bologna. Third last season that was made. He goes Johnson wrong. The right side of Bridge deep. Oh, stunned to Daringa gets a start, but he probably wouldn't wanted. Second fiddle to Santi Castro, and the luxury of having so good quality strikers. And chance to Daringa this afternoon to show his manager can be trusted in big games coming up. Chukatu. Danieli starts to move on side position. Keep this one in, Valeri. That's a muffy ball. Able to be attacked at the front by Pellegrino. Slides quick enough. One say the great, you could say, thought Bologna as they're coming up against the second worst attack in the league. Only Lecce have scored fewer goals than Parma in Serie A this season. I said it earlier on that Parma player hasn't netted in Serie A for over 400 minutes. Was seemingly too much of a problem when we were keeping them out the other ends, but 8 goals conceded in the last 2 games. It's cause for concern to Palmas Cuesta. Just over 10 to go until half-time. I'm sure there'll be a lengthy stoppage time out of audience this first half by referee Gonul. Eto as a whole in both incidents that it took quite a lot of time. The first was a big jury, and then the second one was that red card offence to Pobega. Bernhard Esti would get well, but in really need to show some character and fight. Bernhard Esti can bring up experience, played at the top level. One time now. Part of the Italy side that won Euro 2020, although as COVID had played during the summer of 2021. Here's Rowe. Nicely done from Rowe. He goes down, the referee plays the advantage. Ferguson. Lato seems to be everywhere at the moment. Terrific play from Jonathan Rowe. Lips at the wound. Swamario. Should play this for the outside. Bernard SG. Boyda. And Swamario taking on Sorensen. No ball this time. So, Soino and Daringa. I think it doesn't have. Do you feel now the bug side of settled, going down to 10 men. Plays good stuff here, the Bologna, João Mario. Easily away by Del Prato from this hatch in the air there between the Parma skipper and Rowe. Bernardeschi. Nico Chiamis. Odd choice there from the Greek, taking on Glitch. These are the quickest defenders in Serie A. Sure, even Nico Chiamis 10 years ago would have won that foot race. Poor ball. Sorensen, the most industrious player in the game so far. He's 7 kilometers, Boyd 3.9 for Bologna. That's fine to see those two players top of those rankings. Ferguson, roll. To be careful. Russian roll was putting him under pressure. Despite the numerical disadvantage in terms of players, Bologna are it's a real go, and it looks as though if we are going to get a goal before half-time, it's going to come from the Rosso Blu. Period of 5 minutes for Parma at Bologna. Back foot, Serie well, but didn't manage to carve out too many clear-cut opportunities. Godowski made seemingly the save from the Bernabeu free kick. It was set. What a kick that was awarded up. It did seem as though Godowski had gone a touch. No, Sorensen, he's got Modi Statner and Supporterton, and lazy ball on that left-hand side. But these two sides a little bit devout of any creative spark, though. Surprise already when you consider Parma have lost their last 2, Bologna have lost their last 3. Chubgatti. Odistatno. Valeri back to Odistatno. What works? Very solid in defence, Paladesti. Nothing to protect Joao Mario on debut. Downinger. Steinho fouls Toido. Del Plato in lots of options. It's very animated Enrico Del Plato in the closing stages of their game against Juventus. It was a real smashing fan. The Bianconeri, fans of Parma's home fans. Zaneri, frustration, just Mustello players. And left a message that they put in to try and get themselves back into the game. It's a very easy display from Juventus last weekend and Sunday night. Danieri. Missed that whip ball into Stanio once again. Surely Pellegrino the intended target. Chubgatti, which is straightening for it on the far side. He is free. Dennis keeping tabs on Pellegrino. Valeri, letting him cross with the left. And that did, considering the talent that Valeri has in that left foot. The Otis very much our partner to go and get out of the goal and to take the game to Bologna. So disappointing if they don't prevail here. 3 points considering we're at Kant at Pobega at the 20th minute. Zanelli going toe-to-toe with Mario Pobega cross. Well, right on cue that cross Valeri. Commending him for his crossing ability in that left foot, and he produces worst one of the match so far. But now the boss, Carlos Cuesta, said this match press conference by Presti's bid with Bologna this season, despite some of the most recent results. He said they're very physical, they're very aggressive, they know what they are. He said, we know what they are, know how we're going to play against them well. That went up window almost in the 20th minute. And that red card to Pobega. Good chat team to take play. The majority of the chances. If Bologna hadn't dared them on the break, started play that was very not full to the burst. Free to go until half time. You got case. Egerman defended well against Pellegrino. He's not an easy customer to defend against. It's one Mario. Rowe, Denning Waite and Bridge G. He's been Belmonte's shining lights of his first half, and he's still going here. Jonathan Rowe somehow emerging with the ball. Bernadeschi leaves it, lost void up, and loses on the same wavelength as his number 10. That's a point to answer the attack after Jonathan Rowe had done the hard bit. They didn't how much challenges. What a fantastic ditty of Serie action coming up. We're kicking off, of course, here at the Del Mare, and they've got Mitchell taking on Udinese via Del Mare. That's the 3 o'clock kickoff. So it's got interface tough small. Easy task, that one, for Christian Campbell's men. So still a very good form under Fabio Grosso. League 1 tonight in Turin. Lazio visits Juventus Stadium. Rich D. It's the final minute of this first half. Bridgegate to Nico Giannis. Experienced good defender blocking the cross. That is certainly one area of the pitch that Parma should look to exploit in this second half. Bringing up Lopez. You know, the left-hand side through Neri and Mori Staglio, but Bridgegate that Nadei can really add something to this Parma attack. I think the creativity, the pace. Four minutes to be added on. The end of this first half. Bridgegate looping it towards Mori Staglio. Dangerous this. Looks like he's way more forward than the coolest man at the Donata. Well, we expected it to be 4 or 5 minutes following the injury to Mandela Keita in the match. All right, cards. See minutes. Very lengthy review pitch side by the on-field referee Giuseppe Condo. Troidel. Smart ball. Zaneri. To Mori Staglio. Mori Staglio goes down. Mori Staglio not asking the penalty kick, and that might have saved him a yellow for simulation there. Schwab Mario in no uncertain terms setting him to get to his feet. We have the luxury of having another look at it here. That is poor from Mori Staglio. Did something that he needs to eradicate from his game. He's a talented player, can't make a difference on occasions, but that is embarrassing. The only reason he evaded a booking there, he just did protest, try to play into the referee that he could touch. 2 minutes, I should say. Stoppage time to play here. It's a ladder. Getting football, but not yet settled the better game. We change halfway through the first half when Tommaso Pobega was given a straight red card. Another 5 minutes to calm down. Opportunities. Nice Dalinga testing forward beat. Egan's going to be careful here. Odi Stadio was one back. Odi Stadio gets the right side of his land. Corbin with the decisive touch. This is Keita. Egan taking one to the midriff. Jotham Rowe. Mid-play only for Parma to benefit when it's all happening now. Just over 60 seconds of this first half to play. Dalinga's gone down touching his face. The Bologna players want to foul their way. The referee saw it. The other, Keita Boost. Something to be a bit of a thorn in the side of Bologna this afternoon. Torbjorn Hegem has been very solid so far for Bologna, but he won't want to see this again. Obviously, you're getting the better of him. This was the block by Ferguson. Stops from getting in the way. Dalinga's got down. He's still touching his face here. Then lots of the referee to deal with in this first half. Last chance of the first half. Bernabeu swing it towards Pellegrino. Oh, just for a moment there. Crowd told it there's always going to latch onto that ball for Pellegrino. That's the free kick the Parma would have wanted. Pellegrino winning the first header, bringing others into play. Should do it to the first half. Well, let's see some fiery Italian derby. First half comes to a close. The big moments are going halfway through the first half. Tommaso Pobega was given a straight red card after bringing down Bandana Keita. His studs too high. Big worth range was Epicolu's liking. Bologna had a decent spell. Parma haven't really troubled Skorupski in this first half. They'll be hoping for better in the second. We go in at half-time. Bologna 0. back to the Stadio Blenato Danlara to the immediate Domi. It is certainly a deal between Bologna and Parma. Turn to their bench in this second half. Rex Cagliari and Atamantaman Nadir Zobdia comes on for João Mario. The full debut that Portuguese would have had in mind. Hold off with just 45 minutes in the tank, but it is the more experienced Nadir Zobdia who stopped in at right back as we get underway here at the Renato Dall'Ara. Bologna, remember, with just 10 men on the field following the red card to Tommaso Bobbega halfway through that first half. So the second worst attack in Serie A had 45 minutes to find a winner here against their bitter rivals, the 10 men of their bitter rivals. Bologna Parma back underway here and in after Dall'Ara. For the Italiga to attack instantaneously. Joseph Rowe shooting the bright spots. Bologna in the first half. Lico Gallis. Away by Troilo. Comes here to Ferguson, who can hit them. Taken away from them by Oristadio. That's fitting the deck. The referee had a good view of it. The advantage there. Good Modesti. So we'll see the look more attacking help on that far side, the right hand side for Bologna with Zortea. Here is Zortea now, flipping it in towards Statlinger. Another ball. Mabe losing out to Ferguson. Bologna really taking the game to Parma. No, it's they who have the 10 players on the field as opposed to Parma's 11. Rowe. Ali Boganis. Ferguson. Then Modesti riding then that's over the top. Wonderful start to this second half of the Rosso Blu. Devilish ball in from the near side from Ferguson. Then Modesti making himself a nuisance at that back post. Sorensen not knowing where the ball was. The ball eventually found its way to the Dutchman. They started go. Stuck a arm there of Bernardeschi, so if it had hit the back of the net, I'm sure it would have been pulled out. But Bernardeschi knew too much about it, that it changed the course of the ball, the direction of the ball, to Dallinger's advantage. And the rules of the game, that one would have been ruled out. But whatever Vincenzo Italiano has told his players during the half-time interval, it's certainly working. Best chance of the game so far, and it comes inside the first 2 minutes of the second half. Miglino. Off there, a body stat. You would see too much the cut between those two. The amount of link up that Parma fans would have wanted to see. If you are just joining us, it's quite a big one for these two sides. It's the local derby in region of Emilia-Romagna. These two sides in the region of technically the media. It's in the main of the derby, the Emilia derby. It's the one game of the season which both sets of fans really do want to win. Here goes Zico Giannis, taking it. So hello. Yellow card brandished for Sasha Bichdi. The initial challenge. It's good officiating there shown by Komu. Tried to play the advantage. There was no advantage, so he pulls it back. We saw new signing Gabriel Strefezza warming up on the turf down here at the Dall'Ara during the interval. Great to have him back. Keeps setting up. Meche Koba that. Third to Olympiacos. We did look out for him in the Greek capital in Athens. But Serie A. The points to prove here for Parma. Shifting some well-needed creativity into the midfield. Get a sighter of him in a Parma shirt for the first time this afternoon. Nico Giannis. It's a lovely ball in to find Dalinka. So we're looking to away from the Dutchman. It was as far as Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi taking off Vaneri, twisting it this way and that. He's done really well. Federico Bernardeschi. That's how he can do. That's such a brilliance. Maybe 31 years of age. May not be quickest he's ever been. He's still had talent in the locker. Display there. It's what Bologna, a corner on the far side. It's been a fantastic start to the second half. And not buy down and die and just allow Parma to attack them. It's Bologna on the offensive. Yuko Yanis up to Dalinka. Asking the penalty, and what there was Yuko Yanis and Bernabeu just calmly showed this out. It's disappointing. Callum out of form, afraid to take any real chances. In fact, it was a pretty easy first 45 minutes for both Skorupski, Korvi, and active goalkeepers. He goes Brichki. To see him in more attacking areas from a Parma point of view. So much to give. Chugatti. Who created Parma's only goal in that 4-1 defeat to Juventus, whose ball across the face of the area that was pulled away by Cambiaso into his own bats. We go to Brichki, the corner. Good screen there. Players warming up. One of the Mr. El Fed, a very interesting player to keep your eye on for Parma for the rest of the season. Signing almost going under the radar because of that of Gabriel Strefezza to target that on the French second division. And Bernabeu with Serie. Let's run that to El Fed. You've got the late debut against Juventus, just a few minutes. Created a chance for Matteo Pellegrino late on. Parma go in search. The opening goal, I'm sure he'll turn to either himself or Vodnica to spice things up in attacking areas. Take two. Bernabeu. Borakin. Stanhope twice Dalinka down at the first. And a kick of Ferguson. Holly Staniel tussling with his man here. There's foul on Pevmatis. Dalinka, who was involved in a few screeds in the first half, sneaking with Mariano Troino. There's that question, Nesta Elceg on the side of Donetsk. Dalinka received some medical treatments. Let's keep you updated with what we have for Parma over the next couple of weeks. They're at home to Hellas Verona, a massive match as the two sides named the Giallo-Blue lock horns and the Dendro Tardini. It's then a tough test for Quest side. They go on way to Scudetto chasing Milan at San Siro. That's on the 22nd of February. And then another must-win game, this time at home to Cagliari. Dendro Tardini following that match. Their next match will be against Cremonese. So Verona, we were Cagliari. And Cremonese in the next three matches at home to at least, say, 6 points out of those three games to steer themselves away from some three. Strefezza coming on, making his debut then for Parma. Risalto Gaetano Body Stadio, a very different type of attacker. won't play off the last man like what Estagno did, but you'll drop deep and try to influence the play, getting up to the ball as much as possible. But Evan for just decided to play to both Italy or Brazil. He's decided to go country of his mother's birth, which is Brazil. Never to play around Serie. He's been around for a long time, Gabriel Strefezza. Hardly done by Yukumi. All the way back to Skulupski, who's had very, very little to do. Boydo looking well. Dallinger got the feel for Bologna. Wonder how much longer Italiano will persist with Dallinger. And you have Santi Castro. That's up. Smaller in terms of attackers. Out now attackers this season. Assumimon's 7. It's more of a winger. And Cambiaghi shipping in with goals as well this season, and 4 and 3 respectively, both on the bench. Plenty of goals on that Bologna bench if they want to go chasing this game. To be a professional display from the Rosso Blue, considering they're down to 10 men. Strefezza, first few touches in a Parma shirt. That's ball in for him. It's all the towering figure of Pellegrino. Oh, that's answered the question pretty quickly. Understanding that presumably was a physical issue. See, long into the path now of Dallinger. No one wants it back. There's a large victorious with the ball here. Rowe. This is Ferguson. The offside flag finally does go up. It did look to be that Dallinger was in an offside position. Should see ones at about that. So, moments make the change. Santi Castro, 6 goals already this season. He was a man who loves a goal against Parma. He scored a brace in the reverse fixture at the Ennio Tardini. That's a 3-1 win back in November. He was on target again against Parma in the Coppa Italia, round of 16. It's here at the Dellara. Can he make it? Bill Dole's been 3 games against the Bocciati. Castro in. Dallinger. Sorry, it said he conceded was a touch into the path of Pellegrino and he was away. And if that will be said that touch should come. Another offside call. It's very heated derby in the first half. Should have been because of the red card to Omega. Going down a little bit now, the two sides. Still figuring out one another. Bologna very much playing on the counter with the 10 men. Going to try something different. Bit nearly an hour of football played. Almost 40 minutes with an numerical advantage, and they might get to test Lubski. Here's Rowe. Harrison Rowe on Bridgely. It did look to be a foul, bumpy play. Bernardeschi stood knowing Bernardeschi. He's taken out. Pepe claiming he got the bill, and I'm not entirely sure that's true. The shots now, Bologna to test 40 from range. Foyler leaves it to Bernardeschi, something off the training ground. This is Rowe. Decent service into the middle. What might Castro look for me? Another left side B. So many players wandering into offside areas. Been really struggling from rhythm at the moment. Hasn't been classic by any stretch of the imagination, but still time enough to change that. Was the last win here at the 11 after Dallara. It was 13 years ago. How they'd love to win a rare win against their bitter rivals. 2013, 2-1 win. Valdez and Sansone. Sansone, of course, representing Bologna later on in his career. Non-side coming to these Crociati fans. Pomi won't get a better opportunity to obtain 3 points here at the Danata. They've got today against 10 men. Parma have third. Leicester away from the title this season. 13 points acquired. Leicester and only 10. Oh, there's a yellow card is brandished. Looks to be in the direction of Troidor. But he conceded 3 fouls in the first half on Dalliga. Dalliga's gone off. Castro has replaced him. He's up to his old tricks. Leading one in on his compatriots, and he goes into the book. I'm surprised that. Jonathan Rod taking all Richie, burns the ground, searching for that one there, Rod. Too much complaints from the Englishman. He's had a very strange career, Jonathan Rod. Played through at Championship side Norwich City before getting a big money move to Marseille, where he found his feet. That's third division the last 5 years. Still yet to play the first edition as his native England, Premier League. Sorensen, Strefetta. Twice he's received the ball, Strefetta, and twice he's given it straight back to Bologna. Not the ideal start for the Brazilian. A bit of nerves on dating, perhaps. Hegem somewhere, and he won against Pellegrino today. Castro getting the right side of Chiucati. Needs help here, Santi Castro. Sending from Australia. Sorensen bursting forward. He's got Panelli in support. Pellegrino, the sole figure in the centre. Infidion scraps really Pellegrino. He had 63 minutes or so with me played. Here goes Mandela Keita. More quiet in the second half. The Belgium help him up here. He can certainly make something happen. Keita from distance. But balls to the umpteenth side by Lewis Ferguson. Departure. First system, White, on top of that, to raise the flag to indicate the ball had gone out. Saints won't hear it. Look as though it did. No. Such an effort. Leicester's men. And that's best of the youngest head coach in the Italian top flight this season, just 30 years of age. And some of this first team squad. Skorupski goes long. Kestrel trying to bring it down. It's been taken away from him by Keita. Some deep ball from Pellegrino. Difficult when you're trying to leave the line alone, but as ignored the duels to Hegab and Mukumi. Strange when you consider that it's at least 3 to 5 centimeters taller than both of those two centre-backs. Should be winning those duels. That's the reason he's in the side. Play that target man, that role that he's done so well since he was alright in the Italian game, but today has already been his day so far. What for? Borba, Zili. Here goes Sensi Castro. Wonderful defending there by Toilo. He had to get it right, having just been put moments ago. Won back really well in the centre of the park. Combat claiming for a free kick. But now it's steep. Formally into the path of Castro. Some defending by Toilo. He's growing in stature, really. Oh, Ferguson. Anna Toilo just going back to him. He's lost first team action over the last couple of weeks because of injuries to Diayet and Malenti, we're hearing, is going to be back in the next week or two. Diayet and being a little bit locked out. It's worth that noting that Thomas down to game results. No coincidence. They have sort of their first team defenders out. Here goes Velichdi bursting forward to the ball to Klubi. Donetsk receiving some tactical insight and instruction from his coach, Janos Cuesta, to turn to his bench once again. How Cuesta would feel taking back the points to Parma, the numerical advantage, for as long as they have. I think with the fact that they haven't conceded yet, that's been a real problem of late, as we've highlighted on numerous occasions. Giannis is lost off with injury, and it's the likely replacement like Miranda. So him imperative. Or you'll be hoping that's nothing serious to Nico Giannis. Won his next 3 matches. And all 3 different competitions, the Coppa Italia, Serie and the Europa League. Nico Giannis is a very important squad player for Vincenzo Italiano. In and taking out Leach G. He's been on the field for about 5 seconds and he's conceded the foul in a dangerous position. Anyone? Yeah. Well, but a rare chance here for Parma to test Skorupski. Bednavet, how's the delivery? Is it decent? Look. Take the lead. No. Szczepa. And Marie. The huge goal for Parma in the biggest game of all. Cuesta's side down on their luck in recent weeks. But it is they who make the numerical advantage play. devilish ball in from Benjamin. No one marshalling down. Well, it might have even come off Castro. As you can see from that angle, it's an own goal from the Argentine. Santi Castro diverting the ball into the back of the net. Well, remarkably, 3 of Parma's 4 last goals that they scored at Serie A. The big opposition players. Cambiaso against Juve last week. Thiago Gabriel against Lecce in January, and now Santi Castro, the Emilian derby. What? VAR having a look at something here. I wonder whether it might be the 5 foot of Matteo Pellegrino. I hope not. The technology has already had a huge input on this match with the dismissal of Tommaso Pobega in the first half. All we can tell you is that those in at least Sonny Mujo are having a very long look at this for the first time in the game. It's a huge moment in the match with just 20 to play. There's not all the tension building at the Renato Darada. The referee Giuseppe Collo is being called over to have another look for his second time in the match. A big moment in the first half. Following the dismissal of Pobega. Well, 9 times out of 10. You know what this means. Well, from this steering, there doesn't seem to be too much wrong with the goal. As we said, this is a monumental moment in the match. Parma down on their luck, 2 successive heavy defeats. They haven't won since January. Well, they thought they'd taken the lead here at the Delata, quite rightfully, but it might be taken from them. Santi Castro diverting, as you can see, that clear on goal. Great ball in from Berhade. Stulipski-Dayton. And the technology was brought in to eradicate clear and obvious errors. The amount of time that the referees looked at this indicates that surely it's not a clear and obvious error. But Gonno has made up his mind, and he will reveal it to the stadium now. A seguito di revisione, il calciatore numero 9 del Parma in posizione di fuorigioco, tenta di giocare il pallone. Pellegrino in an offside position. He's set it diretta fuori gioco. The goal is chalked off. The presence of Matteo Pellegrino contributing to Santi Castro diverting the ball into his own net. It's a rather unorthodox way to rule out a goal. And Parma's western side, who have barely threatened in this game, to finally get the ball in the net, and it's been ruled out. To count yourself very, very lucky if you're a Bologna fan. Not many protests in the way for Bologna, but on we play. Might have something to ignite this derby in their second half. It's been a lot of stale seconds. I do feel it is up for grabs. Ben Hardesti playing in Zobtea. Now, they played for a handball. Jonathan Rowe cheering up the crowd here. The Donata. Great ball from Zobtea. Mo did well. Hoyler, who's stuck out a shoulder. Not sure that could be given as handball. Tried to get his arm out of the way. If it is a handball, he might be in trouble. Hoyler has already been bugged. Miranda. Towards the way to Rowe. Kept in by Miranda. That's a lovely ball. Godby graciously gathers the ball. Well, both teams looking to win it now. Why not a huge possibility for both Bologna and Parma to get 3 points on the board, get back to winning ways in Serie A. Get a half the job with Kumi. The other one stalled at that. Well, some big games coming up for Vincenzo Italiano. As we highlighted, that Skimian's last year in the quarterfinals, and Timothy Rose putting in a good performance today. Been knocking on the door. Just need to start ahead of Cambiaghi. Virata into Borgiro. That's a nice touch. Letting the centre forward now, the number 11. Massive credit to Bologna. You would never know that they were the side down to 10 men. Been down to 10 men since halfway through that first half. Bernardeschi. Sanchez Chiacati. On we play. Rowe. Trying to curl one. He's in the mood. Denied moments ago by the shoulder of Toynol. This time it is off target. He looks most likely to break the deadlock here. Great play from Bernardeschi. Castro into the feet of Rowe. Bologna upping the tempo late on here. One doesn't want to be too critical of Parma. It's always difficult with the emotion involved in a derby match. Bologna, of course, even though they are down to 10, are a quality side. They've got fantastic ability all over the field, but Parma haven't done enough. Need to see some of that fight that they're going to have to show if they want to stay in this division. Strefezza, that's a lovely ball, just too long for Pellegrino. Well, that's what Strefezza could do. Crowd off their seats applauding Federico Bernardeschi. It's a change once again for the Ducati. And this steer from Donetsk. The answer, come on, Sorensen. Another decent display. Sorensen. Industrious. Great touches showed. Comes off for the sturdier Christian Donetsk. Wants a bit of Hopkins of that midfield for Parma. East. Use more. This is Bernardeschi. Looks up there at the back between Chiacati and his goalkeeper his goalkeeper Corby, I should say. So it's gone down that this will be a second yellow card for Toynol. But for the second time in this second half, he led with the arm into Castro's face. his 5th foul of the game, his 2nd in this second half, and it is a red for Mariano Troidel. His inexperience on display there. He simply cannot lead in with the arm raised like that when you're on a yellow card. And Parma had a real problem now. They struggled to score when it was 10 against 11. Well, now it's 10 against 10. And Bologna will feel they really can't go on and win this now. Troidel is refusing to leave the field of play here. Nico Del Prato, his captain, is trying to calm him down. I'm entirely sure what he's attempting to retrieve here, Troidel. That's just wasting time. The referee's wanted to change his mind. He's claiming Troidel that was not foul. At the much we've seen of the replay, you need to tell you that it definitely was a foul. Worse for Parma. Bologna had the opportunity to test Quadri. With plenty of suitors, Bernardeschi, who left it for Luko Yanis in the first half. Well, it hasn't been a classic in terms of goal-mouth action, this particular edition of the Armenian derby, but it's been feisty, it's been fiery. 2 red cards, and are we in for a grandstand finish? This is Bernardeschi. Not too far away, his face tells you all you need to know. Thought to be slap-footed, he was getting nowhere near it. Bends around the wall, but not enough bend to sneak in at that far post. It's been a game flying out for one moment of magic. So Gabriel Svetezza into Pellegrino, who's been better certainly since Trepezza has entered the field of play. Parma's delivery into the area, in towards Matteo Pellegrino, is influenced greatly. Jonathan Rowe. The game up to perhaps to Bologna now. 10 versus 10. Sotia. Bernardeschi. Great seat from Bernardeschi. How's the delivery? Bit towards wrong. Play there by Keita. Essentially recovered from that first half injury. Sotia. Being superb today, Federico Bernardeschi in the side ahead of Samini. No Samini, no Cambiaghi, no Bodgaard. Vincenzo Italiano trusting some of his more fringe players to get the job done here against Parma. They're down on their luck, Parma. We're on the back foot now. Flicked nose down and a bit of a contact between himself and Santi Castro. Wind the clock down. Septim is to keep by slowly from a Parma point of view. Ordonez, Bernardeschi once again. He's been imperious for Bologna, and it's eyes forward here. Van Miranda, Bernardeschi, his best cross. I'm still calling the top. Bologna do have 2 substitutions to make. I wonder whether Italiano will be looking to bring on more pace in attacking areas. Talking of pace, he knows that Eri. luxury to wait for. One of them is Pellegrino. It's well marshalled away by Lukumi. It's now roughed at the back. Stefetza. Never since the disallowed Poland goal. So on Santi Castro. Very entertaining game of football so far. 5.5 to play of the 90. Do you feel there'll be lots of time added on because of that lengthy VAR check each side? Jealous of Rowe. Rowe takes the inside route. Hegel. Up to Ferguson, still full of energy. Lewis Ferguson, many leading by example. The time in the world for Bernardeschi to cross. Instead seeks out Zoptea. Bernardeschi, Nylander, forward about crossing. Instead he leaves it to Bernardeschi. It's doing lofty ball. Right this way on the way to Zoptea. Another start from Bologna has nothing doing. But another David and Sloyd. Arrival ball for Strefezza. It will be Franco Carboni on the for Martinza. The entering the fray. Maben making way. So Keita coming off on Yukamusi Gabriel and then making way. Jonathan Rowe and Federico Bernardeschi. I mean, come off 50-year-old. Cinta Dariano changing things up on the flanks with Orsolini placing Bernardeschi, who's been arguably Bologna's best player. There's Nicola Candiati, who is on for Jonathan Rowe. That's all they've got. I mean, just under 10 minutes to make an impact here. That's all that Orsolini needs, that's for sure. Candiati, first touch for him. Taking on Bridgedi. She, of course, oops, earlier on the match, and he'll have to be very careful in defending here. It's Cambiaghi. The Italiano has made all the substitutions that he can. Inside, is Molsomini. So, yeah, expectancy when also he gets the ball here at the Darada. No, darling, yeah, the Rosso Blue for so many seasons. Kenny did them out of trouble here. He skips away from Bareri. That's a tasty ball to find Cambiaghi. Just a little bit too long for the number 28. United keeping it alive. Ferguson. Vitumi has got Miranda screaming for it. On her left-hand side. There is Miranda. Digs out the cross. Orsolini. Bounced. That was his big chance. And what an impact it would have been. He's barely been on the field 2 minutes. Pellegrino wants a foul, not getting it. Bologna hold. Slot again here. Commit players forward. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remain. The biggest chance of the game coming in the 89th minute. Also really crashing its effort against the post. Freuda. Orsolini taking the inside rings. Orsolini goes to goal. Well blocked by Bareri. Said this what cut out this afternoon. Zoptea backs it up. Should be Corbis. It is Corbis. Capiati testing the legs now of BHP. The way the game's going, there's only going to be one winner. Do the Nordic have enough time to get that decisive goal? Parma clinging on for dear life in. Sortea. Out to Mamani. Sorini seeing so much of the balls he was coming on. There's 7 minutes of time to be added on. The drama is far from over. Sortea ends it up towards Catstorm. Stefetza doing all he can against Leo Stefetza. So valuable to have a player in advanced positions for Parma who could hold on to the ball like that. Listen, lots of run for Bologna. Is it about to go on? Could it get even worse for them here? Pellegrino matching onto the ball from Bridge. Mikunusi Kapinga. Sortea. Well, he put it behind for a corner. Slight to knock it back to Skolupski. One of those that could have gone anywhere. Root ball in to Mikunusi Kapinga. Rather surprised not to see him start this match, considering Lopudi is from set pieces. Gabriel swinging it in, away by Castro at the front post. This is Strefetza, a nice takedown. Referee indicating that Bologna was take the free kick from the edge of the box. And pedantic about this, the referee, to the frustration of the home fans. Was Hunnell out of position, they wanted to hit them on the counter. Into the 93rd minute. Mussolini now. Sergerson. Now Miranda. Patient play from the Rossoblu. The pride of Emilia Romagna at stake here in these late moments. Cambiaghi. Sergerson. Back to Cambiaghi. Miranda. That's a lovely ball to find. Still. Moves high there, Santi Castro. Puts up it under, just a smidge too high for him. Well, before a ball was kicked this weekend, Bologna were in 10th place in Serie, 11 points off Como, who have found form under Cesc Fabregas. Champions League look keeping out of their reach now. It's their intention surely to try to qualify for either the Europa League or Conference League. This is another 2 big points drop for Bologna unless they can dig themselves out of all. Statistic on screen moments ago tells you all you need to know about the quality in front of Golden. We've seen 1 shot on target for Bologna. Then Parma did help the ball, did the net. Santi Castro scoring our goal. It's ruled out. It's an offside position for Matteo Pellegrino. Bordonia is closing down Zobtea. Foyda. Less communication between Ubi and Ferguson, and it gives Scotland a chance. As we approach the 94th minute mark, Hans Nicolusi Gadia. This is Bordonia Ortage. This played goal. Chelsea is the most important. It's Chiricane. This what you see game of football with a twist in the tail. Parma down on their luck coming into this one. 4 games without a win, 8 goals conceded in the last 2 games. They haven't created an awful lot today, but the one big chance set its way toward Ordóñez. And he unleashed a strike, beating Skorupski at his near post. Wonderful placement from the Argentine. That is a goal worthy of winning any derby. Look what it means to Carlos Cuesta, the Parma coach. They were drifting towards the bottom 3. They needed a lifeline. They needed something to pick themselves up. And what a fixture. To get a win in. Well, they haven't gotten a win yet. They'll be aware of that. Bologna will throw everything they've got in what time remains. It's probably still a good 2 or 3 minutes to play here. This one might not be finished. Here goes Freuler. Santerre in towards Vasily. Uppy with a huge stop right at the net. Magnificent goalkeeping from Eduardo Corvi. Would have been an own goal from Del Plato. The reaction stop. A huge left glove there to keep out the ball. It will come and come again though. Bologna go in search of the equalizing goal, but Corvi this time easier to keep it out. Disappointing delivery from the far side. Considering the time of the save and what's happened in the last 10 minutes or so, that's got to be one of the saves of the season for Parma. Sortea, nice feet. Left by Freuler. This is Castro. Surely last chance to learn here for the Ross and Blue. In by Miranda. Hobson. Oh, look, by Corby. A bad performance from this lad. Looked a stop to deny Orsolini. But Cambiaghi. Lucumi. It's away by Pellegrino, only as far as Castro. All eyes on the referee, who's played nearly 98 minutes. Anywhere will do just the defense up. Well, that's Pellegrino winning the foul from Sortea, and that might be Parma home. Parma get their first win at Bologna for 13 years. A crazy game of football comes to a close. Ordóñez won it right at the death. Eduardo Corvi keeping out first Enrico Del Plato, his own player, and then Orsolini. It's a Parma performance that lifts them clear of the bottom 3. A well-needed win for Carlos Cuesta's side. So Bologna, the winless run goes on. Siamo still happening after the nada. Bologna 0, Parma 1. Oh, the Ross and Blue will not know how they've lost that one. Tommaso Popega sets up in the first half. It was Bologna who did the majority of the attacking in this second half. Since he gets through a small an own goal, ruled out by the referee for an offside on Matteo Pellegrino. Eduardo Borbi coming up with 2 big stops. Christian Ordonez winning it in extra time. The faces of these Bologna players tell you all you need to know. It is a rough run for them that just keeps on going. But for Parma, conceded 8 in their last 2. Keep a clean sheet, get the win, and they have the bragging rights in Emilia-Romagna. That's all for me, Thomas Audrey. Thank you so much for joining us here. I'll leave you with the final score once again, where it's finished Bologna 0, Parma 1.